Welcome to Educate Me. This website is going to be dedicated to homeschooling and a new way to educate our kids. We're going to be going through projects. We've actually released a book, or we're in the process of releasing a book that'll actually explain what it is we're doing. So I'm not going to go through a whole lot of detail in this video, but what I did want to do is take a minute to explain what the goal is. So in my opinion, our education system is doing all of our kids a complete and utter disservice. If you want an example of how much of a disservice, all you have to do is look out on the streets in 2020 at what is going on. Most of the kids that are out rioting and tearing the cities apart are all probably college educated or undereducated kids that have no sense whatsoever. They don't have any reason for existing in life, and the only reason that they feel like they deserve to be there is to tear things up. And the problem is that throughout their lives, and the parents of these losers, they've never had any reason to learn anything useful. And so what we're going to try to do in this course, I've got a 9-year-old boy that was in a private school. He's been in private school all of his life. I've got relatives that teach. I've got, my nephew's got kids in school, in public school. But the problem, and obviously we all went to school, the problem though is that we really didn't learn anything when we went through school. And so what I'm going to be doing, I've had this idea for most of my life about how I would run a school, and I feel like this is the prime opportunity, the prime time in the world to try to do this, because if it isn't completely apparent now that our education system is failing all of the kids, I don't really know when a better time would be. And so what we're going to be doing in this course is we're going to be going through the same types of material, but I'm homeschooling my son, and we're going to have him present some of the material. I'm going to do some of the material to educate him, but we're going to go through the process of learning things in a more fun way. But in this process, we're going to be teaching, in my case, Jacob, but in your case, your child, and in the case that we actually successfully get this into a real thing, all children, we're going to be teaching them real world things. So we're not going to be starting off with, a lot of history and a lot of, English and all of the things that we were taught in school. We're going to start off with some core elements that I feel like we need to have grounded before we can really get into the fun stuff. And so the one thing I want to make sure that we're clear on is that we still need, probably from kindergarten up to third grade or so, similar to what we're doing now, because the kids, before they can get started with this, the kids need to know how to read, they need to know how to write, they need to know how to do basic math, how to count, and those kind of things. And so I don't feel like when the kids are really young, I don't feel like they're, the process that they're put through is that detrimental to them learning these things. They still go to school, they have fun, they're with one teacher all day, and they go through their course and they learn. There's no reason, though, that I couldn't pick up and teach my own child these things as well. But in this course, we're going to be starting around the fourth grade, where the kids are starting to think more for themselves, and they're a little bit more, have a little bit more aptitude to learning things on their own. And by the way, if anybody thinks that you need a teacher to learn something, throw an iPad with a game on it in front of any kid and watch how quick he picks up how to play that game and how to use it. So the assumption that our kids need teachers is really quite comical to me. And so in this course and in this process, we're going to test my philosophy and see if it actually is real, and see, how Jacob progresses through this process, and whether at the end of the day he's smarter or better off going through a school like this versus going through a government run and formulated and monopolized school system. So to get started, what we're going to start off with is every kid, in order to do the things that you need to be able to do in today's world, you have to be able to use a computer. And so one of the first steps in this course is going to be the kids building their own computer. And they're going to be Linux-based systems that are very affordable. The school, in my case, I'm buying it. If I had a school, I could easily, buy 20 of these things and not break the bank. So it's kind of up to the parents, or people that are helping the parents to get the supplies for the kids to be able to do this. But in the first few videos, we're going to actually go through how to physically build and put the computer together. The kids are going to actually do this on their own. We're going to boot the computer up, and we're going to get it to where they can start doing something with it. Now, the first thing that we're going to do once we get it booted up is we're going to actually be going through typing tutors every day. So for 15 minutes a day, this is something worth mentioning, is that in the state of Georgia, and all the states are different, but in the state of Georgia, there's a requirement of 4 hours a day, or 4.5 hours a day, and 185 days, I think is what it is, that the kid has to be in school. And so what I have chosen to do is I'm going to go 3 hours a day, and we're going to go all year. There really is, to me, there's no reason to take 3 months off in the middle of the year, because you're not going to have that opportunity when you grow up and get out of high school. So I'm going to have Jacob going through these courses every single day. I'm going to try to pre-program or pre-video the course that I want him to do for tomorrow. I'll try to do tonight, so that tomorrow when he gets started, he'll be able to go through the process just like you'll be able to have your kid go through. And so we're going to try this and see how it goes. We'll learn things along the way, and I'm sure I'm going to learn things by having Jacob do some of these projects and things that he's going to be doing, because he's going to be working with me and reading to me and doing presentations and stuff. So it's going to be fun, I hope. I'm trying to keep it fun for him, and hopefully your kids can join along and enjoy the process as well. All of this is going to be free. There are websites and things that we're going to be using, so I'll share what those websites are, and we'll go through what the process is, and I'll try to video Jacob going through some of the lessons and stuff as well, just to kind of let the kids see what's going on and how this is working and how it's progressing. But the general idea is to have Jacob being able to use a computer, be able to type with all 10 fingers, be able to read, write, do math, program, do all the things that, in today's world we all should know how to do, and most of us don't, or most of you don't. So we're going to try to keep this fun and see how it goes. And so we'll get on with the first lesson here and get Jacob started building his first computer.